When someone ruins their finances, it's easy to assume they simply couldn't do the math. But financial failure rarely stems from a lack of intelligence. It is usually a result of how the wires in our brain prioritize immediate social status over long-term security. Modern society is built to exploit this. We are constantly pressured to borrow money and take on heavy debt for the sole purpose of projecting a specific image to the outside world. That behavior explains why a highly educated Wall Street executive making millions a year can end up bankrupt, while a blue-collar janitor with no formal financial training can quietly retire with an $8 million fortune. The janitor succeeded because he mastered his own behavior instead of trying to master the market. Spreadsheets provide the map, but your own biology provides the obstacles. Building wealth requires a constant internal resistance against the urge to spend everything you earn. When a sleek, six-figure sports car rolls down the street, people stop and stare, but they almost never look at who is behind the wheel. We buy expensive things assuming they will bring us admiration, but the people staring at your car aren't admiring you, they are imagining themselves in the driver's seat. We spend fortunes to impress strangers who are too busy worrying about their own image to even notice us. This behavior reveals how we often confuse two separate concepts. Being rich is a function of your current income, the ability to buy flashy things today. Being wealthy is the money you don't spend, the unseen assets that provide you with options for tomorrow. Look at the historical Vanderbilt family. They possessed some of the greatest riches the earth had ever seen. Yet bound by the crushing expectations of their high status, many of the heirs lacked true financial independence or personal freedom. They had money, but they were trapped by it. Spending money just to look successful is a direct attack on your own future. Every luxury purchase made for status is a trade, where you give up your long-term freedom for a moment of short-term praise. To escape this cycle, you can't just blindly chase a higher salary. You have to define a specific freedom baseline, the exact amount of capital required to cover your existence without a paycheck. This threshold is the rule of 25. You take your desired annual living expenses and multiply that number by 25. Reaching that target creates a golden goose, a portfolio large enough to theoretically support your life through its growth. The strategy relies on living exclusively off the 4% annual interest generated by that capital, the X, without ever touching the primary principal balance. Hitting this mathematical threshold is the moment your money replaces your physical labor, allowing you to permanently buy back your time. For most people, accumulating that much capital seems impossible through savings alone. But the primary tool of the wealthy isn't a lucky stock pick, it's the index fund. By owning a small slice of hundreds of top companies, you eliminate the risk of a single business failing and capture the growth of the entire economy. Once your money is in the market, compound interest begins to act as a silent multiplier, earning returns on your previous gains and accelerating over time. Einstein observed that interest earning interest is the only force capable of turning a modest paycheck into a fortune, allowing capital to grow exponentially. Decades of historical data show that simply automating your investments into a broad fund will outperform almost every attempt at aggressive trading. Time, rather than a high salary, is the greatest lever of wealth. Given enough decades, even an average paycheck can grow into a multi-million-dollar portfolio. Every dollar you earn represents a choice. It will either be deployed to work for you as an asset, or it will disappear as a liability. Money spent on consumer goods is gone forever. To replace it, you are forced to trade more of your limited hours working, keeping you in a cycle of needing to earn just to survive. But a dollar directed into an asset becomes a permanent, unpaid employee. It works for you constantly, generating more capital every hour of the day. This ownership is the hallmark of the top 1%. Their wealth isn't generated by a salary. It is built through the equity they hold in businesses and properties. This creates a sharp divide in the modern economy. You either own the assets that generate value, or you must continue to sell your life's energy to the people who do. Reclaiming your life requires viewing money not as a status symbol, but as a mechanism for controlling your own time. This chart shows the reality of the market. You will encounter jagged, short-term dips. But enduring uncertainty is the mandatory price of admission for long-term freedom. Every dollar you invest today is a physical piece of your future that you have successfully bought back from an employer. Sovereignty is the ultimate dividend of wealth, the ability to wake up every morning and decide exactly what you will do with your time.